the camera is another person dancing with you, and that means that there's not a lot of cutting, and so there was nowhere to hide in this.
Are you a soldier?
Marine.
My name is Carmen.
They're gonna find us. You know that, right?
Well, congratulations on the film. What a beautiful film. You really have to experience it on the big screen.
Oh, well, thank you. I agree.
It's really beautiful, just like it's so symbolic. And you, for Benjamin, how did you take such a classic story, Carmen, and bring it to the United States, and and have a story of immigrants, and how did that come to you? Because you're originally from France. So
yeah, but I've lived in the US for 29 years, even though I just recently, now I'm living in Paris again, and lived in Los Angeles for 10 years. So obviously it was important to me that I created a story that I related to in terms of my kind of environment. I mean, living in Los Angeles, obviously you're, confronted with immigration, in the media, and I went to the border, and I was something that I was very much emotionally drawn to, and also there's a love for the American, the California landscape, and so it just made a lot of sense to set it there. And it was way, when I think it was 2015 when I decided to set it up there. So there was already horrendous things going on the border, obviously, but they got worse, as we know, with Trump. But this was how long ago this project sort of was seeded. And yeah, I mean, I think it just made sense. It just made a lot of sense to me that that's where it should be.
And then Melissa, for you, really a different, coming off of Scream, and I'm seeing you here, it's like, whoa, total like 360 for you. I mean, do you like those versatile roles?
Yeah, I think I purposely like to go from one project to something that feels completely different, because I like to surprise people. That's one of my favorite things.
And you're no stranger to dancing and singing in the Heights. Was that kind of practice for this one?
Honestly, yes. I mean, I was grateful that I got to do that, and that I had such intense dance rehearsals for In the Heights, but this was completely different. It's salsa is a different language to, contemporary dance and Benjamin style. So even though it was helpful to know that I can like move my body, and that I can like pick up choreography and like learn that and feel confident about that, that definitely helped me moving into this film. But I think I felt more nervous about Carmen, and because in the Heights there are like big numbers, and like the camera is like going from one thing to the other, and I knew the way that Benjamin wanted to shoot this is because I had seen his like dance shorts, and we had shot like this little thing before in the desert, and I knew that his way of shooting dance is very much like the camera is another person dancing with you, and that means that there's not a lot of cutting, and so there was nowhere to hide in this. So I had to like really practice and practice and practice and drill so that I felt comfortable enough in front of the camera and do justice to the character.
And Benjamin, for you, that opening scene with the stomping as the danger comes near, that's an amazing scene that I still remember in my head. I will never forget that scene. That was just artistry at its best.
Thank you.
What was that? I mean, for you, choreographer to director, to me, it's kind of a natural step, pun intended.
Yes. So no, that scene, well, you want to know more about that scene?
Yeah, I mean, just how you came up with that scene, and just, was it all the footwork, or did you do like post-production and
no, I mean, I worked with Marina, the dancer, and finding a rhythm that I knew she could sustain and then build upon to create sort of this little level of intensity that I had in mind. And it was really to showcase the power, the magical power of this woman, in front of this man who the dancing becomes hypnotizing, and he loses sense of where he is and what he's doing for a moment. And it's just kind of just to showcase her power, and the power that we feel throughout the movie, and her connection to Carmen, even through death. She appears in the film in surprising moments. even though she's died, and that scene just had to be really, really meaningful and strong. And we shot it in 45 minutes, so it was it was very
Wow.
frustrating because I knew what that scene could be, and I had 45 minutes to shoot it, and the light had changed from the moment we were looking at the car, which is blue sky, to then moving back to Marina. But somehow it worked out in the cutting room. So
That's my favorite scene ever. I will never forget
good.
that scene. That's amazing. And then Melissa, you and Paul Mescal have like the greatest chemistry with the little words spoken. So what was it like with acting with him?
It was great. I think we spent a lot of time together in the rehearsal room, dancing together and getting to know each other and trusting each other, because he had to like lift me up and then I had to like carry him in some moments in the duet. And so there was a lot of trust and like getting to know each other physically. And I think that helped a lot for that like unspoken connection that they have, that you see in the movie, that we got to spend that much time together and really get to know each other. And it was great. It was so easy with him. He's amazing.
Yeah, and Benjamin, I mean, that desert scene, the dance scene, that was another amazing scene. And I'm sure you were on deadline there too, because you only have so much time, right, to shoot those
And not
scenes.
only did we have so much time, but something went wrong with the camera, and I think
No.
90% of the footage was ruined. And gratefully, the takes that were good were there. I was very lucky, very, very lucky, and it was with the lower sun. But no, it was very hard for Paul and Melissa because they're dancing in sand, which is the toughest, and also still kind of create a sense of lightness. And so that was I know they suffered through that through those like, let's cut and do it again. And but it was very beautiful, and they're stunning in that scene at the end. And I think part of the exhaustion and the effort just gives even more emotional tension to that scene. So, and we were in a sacred area there in Australia. We actually had to have a ceremony before we could use it. With Aboriginal group of people right before we shot there. So it was actually also a very, very special place.
Wow, well, congratulations. Really mesmerizing film. I was mesmerized from the start to the finish. I couldn't take my eyes off of the screen. So congratulations, really enjoyed it.
Thank you.